marriage was falling apart at the seams.
We had tried counseling.
We were at each other's throats all the time, and it just got worse and worse.
Our relationship ended up getting really abusive physically on my part, and if something didn't change, I was gonna be in jail.
I was done with marriage. Jerilyn and I met through our siblings, and after dating for a short period of time, we decided to move in together. We had really hit it off, which was a big part of it. After getting pregnant, we were encouraged strongly by my parents and a number of others to get married. And that's what we ended up doing. And I felt a sense of obligation. I wanted to really solidify the family. I didn't want to be kind of broken up and back and forth doing all this stuff that we see out there today. And it became a burden.
After we got married and had Lucas, it just seemed like we were in completely different worlds. We did not know how to communicate, which led to a lot of tension and anger, resentment, depression, which just continued to get worse.
Yeah, and I was so used to the party life and hanging out with my friends, drinking, smoking, doing whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. It even made those problems worse. I was so used to being Mr. Social, and I couldn't let go of those friendships, those relationships that I had.
It was foreign to me how many friends he had and how close some of his relationships were. I believe some of them were inappropriate. I felt like I was fighting for just a spot in his life at all. And that really just led to a lot of just deep anger and just a sense of being out of control. So I often turned to violence. I would damage our stuff. I would physically attack him. And I knew that if things didn't change on my part, that I was gonna end up in jail and I was gonna lose our son.
After getting pregnant again, we tried counseling, marriage counseling, counseling with friends and family. We tried talking to each other. We tried not talking to each other. Nothing worked. We were lost. And after Preston was born, I mentally checked out of our marriage, and I was not willing to be faithful to my wife anymore. On the night before I had planned on cheating on my wife, I had a dream, and I was in a house that I didn't recognize, and I was looking for this woman that I was going to be cheating on my wife with, and instead I was greeted with a man who had a gun, and he put it right in my face, and I held up my hands and said, "Wait, no," and he fired a shot into my left eye, and I woke up immediately, and I had such pain in my left eye. And I got up, I went downstairs, I was splashing water on my face, and I just had this pain in my eye. I could not get rid of it, no matter what. And it was with me until the morning. And I will never forget that. After that dream, I couldn't go through with it. I called the young lady the next day and told her I couldn't go through with cheating on my wife. And I truly believe that was the Lord telling me no.
Isaac's family had always tried talking to me, giving me godly advice, encouragement. I will never forget the one time Isaac and I had gotten into another big fight. I had torn up my hand punching a picture frame. I was so angry. I decided to go on a drive and try to calm down. His dad had texted me a few times asking if I would come over and talk, and I knew that he just wanted to talk to me about the Lord, so I was a little hesitant. But I ended up going over, and I just remember the love and genuine care that I received when I walked in. They really just wanted to reach me with the truth about who God was and what He could do for my life. My life completely changed that night. He was the answer to every single issue I had. My anger was gone, and I was truly at peace because I had met Jesus.
I had seen a complete change in Jerilyn. In an argument, instead of yelling and screaming and the violence, she would actually stop and pray, which was a complete difference from before. During COVID lockdown, Brother Brian was preaching a message remotely, and it was about returning to the Lord. And during that message, I felt like the Lord was pointing a finger into my chest and saying, "This is for you." The next morning, I started praying and said, "Lord, I feel like you're talking to me. And if you're talking to me, I'm ready to follow you." From that morning, December 21st, 2020, my heart had changed. God took me and turned me into a man who could love his wife the way I'm supposed to.
The Lord has saved our marriage. He gave us a new love, respect, and devotion to each other that's now centered and strengthened in Him and Him alone. And I can't imagine my life without Jesus.
Acts 16:31 says, "Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and you will be saved, you and your household." Don't wait for others to change. Just trust and call upon the Lord for yourself. When you seek Him, you will find Him, and He will always be there to pick up the pieces.
When you are ashamed, when you are afraid, when you don't know where to turn, when you've made a mess and you don't know how it's going to get cleaned up, I promise you, if you turn to Jesus Christ, you will never regret it.